Good morning, it's Tuesday and my day is starting out well. I started in the backyard doing my bird and moon study and coming to a conclusion on those. Then I took a shower, changed into clean clothes, and even dried my hair. So I'm off to a good start this morning. This week we've been talking about, and the week before, talking about the scientific method and the nature of scientists, the habits of scientists, the way that they think, and kind of the steps they go through to answer a question. We started with testable questions, not testable questions. So here's an example. Which is a better color, red or blue? Not testable. That's an opinion. You can't test opinions. Which is a better breakfast for me, an Oreo or carrot cake? Well, we might be able to answer that, but we'd have to define better. So, for example, I would say nutritionally, the carrot cake, since it has carrots and pineapple and raisins and nuts and milk and eggs, is probably better for me than the Oreo. But if it's better, which tastes better, I don't know. I had an Oreo for breakfast yesterday morning. It was pretty darn good. So you have to be careful when you're testing questions that you word them carefully. So the procedures for doing an experiment are asking a question, turning it into a hypothesis, which is a prediction of what you think will happen, deciding what your procedure will be and what materials you need, so what your methods or procedures or steps are and what you need to do that, writing them carefully so that someone else can replicate your experiment, that means copy it, and then looking at your data, recording data, qualitative words, quantitative numbers, looking at it and seeing what story it tells. Did it answer your question? Did it support your hypothesis, or do you have to reject your hypothesis? Or did you make mistakes in your study and you just need to start all over again? Or make sure that your question is worded better. Then, once you look at your data and see what it's telling you, you've come to a conclusion. So that's the format for a lab report. That's the steps a scientist takes to answer a question with an experiment, and pretty much the same with a study. So the difference in an experiment and a study is that in an experiment you have an independent variable that you're manipulating, you have a dependent variable that you're writing data down upon, and you have some controls, things that always stay the same. In a study, you're not manipulating things, you're just observing and recording data to see what story the data tells, what conclusion you can come to. So here's some examples. Let's see. If I want to do an experiment on my dessert plate here, I don't want people to keep eating my Mother's Day cake. I could color the rest of this frosting half brownish green and leave half white and see which the family gobbles up first. So I could time how long it takes for the brownish green side to get eaten, or if it gets eaten first. That would be an experiment, because I would manipulate the color of the frosting and write down how long it took to be eaten or what their preference was. A study would be more something like, do double stuffed Oreos really have more frost filling, or is that just kind of a gimmick to get me to buy them? And to answer that question, I would need regular Oreos, and I would need double stuffed Oreos, and a measurement tool, I guess. So I would take a quantitative measurement using my ruler here, and I would do it in the metric system if I can, because that's what scientists around the world use. And it has just about a centimeter. Wow, a centimeter of frosting in this. Good deal. Then I would go and I would test regular Oreos. So the process of science is asking questions, coming up with a systematic way to answer them, and being careful to write down data with disregard to whether or not it's going to support your hypothesis. Write down any data that you've decided to record during your study, and then let the data tell you what your conclusion should be. Right? Ask me if you need help, and if you still haven't done a study and want help coming up with one, I'm happy to help you with that, because you can be the scientist. Bye.